So after that 2 hour video that I created about App Builder, I wanted to attack this again because I think that there's a better way to go about this whole process of learning how App Builder works and then talking about it with you guys. So what I've done is there was a weekly challenge that was shared to me from somebody. They did a challenge. It was a general post like last October. So it had to do with Halloween, and it was like building an app in App Builder with the Halloween data set. So I took that. And what I want to do is do a handful of videos where I build an app, and then we build upon it as we, kind of think through visually the way things we think should work, or the way that visually things would be nice in an ultimate app. Because I don't want to make another 2 hour video. I don't want to make a 3 hour video just trying to figure things out and trying to brainstorm. So this video is an introduction to this whole process we're going to launch, and I'm very excited for you to be here with me. My name is Trayson. This is Cloud Punch, where we talk about different cloud analytics solutions in long form podcast. That's a good enough intro, I think. Okay, so I want to do a second video on App Builder with a more controlled use case. But I started recording a video and it was like an hour and I wasn't even close to being done. So what I want to do is try to see if we can change the way that we do this. Let me back up. The reason it took me an hour was because I was still trying to solve things like Alteryx Designer. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply some first principles here. So we're going to back out of everything I know about Alteryx Designer. I'm going to try. This is going to be difficult. I'm going to try to back out of things and just think about what the goal of the question is. And if I am moving first into App Builder, how are we going to make that work? So let's go over a challenge. There was a challenge that was put out in a while ago, October now. So 6 months. Anyway, 6 months. Golly, it's been 4 months. Okay, 4.5 months. Okay, sorry. So this challenge, what it does is it's asking us to produce an app that allows users to select a favorite candy, and then with awareness about the sugar content, and then use the app to generate results they can download and take with them. So essentially doing some sort of form building thing on top of App Builder. So actually we're just going to show where we got. So this was where I got. We're going to use some of this, but we're going to try this a different way. Essentially we tried to go through the ability to filter in here. So on this, let's actually back up for a second. One thing that we've learned, what's it called? Draw.io. One thing that we've learned about App Builder is that it doesn't work in the same way that Alteryx Designer does. So what we've got is we've got 3 layers essentially. We're going to start, instead of thinking about a bottom-up approach, I'm going to try to start thinking in the middle and then diverging based on how I want this to look. So let's do these 3 layers. So we've got these 3 layers here. This top one is actually going to be the viz layer. So this is where we create visuals. Actually, what's it called in App Builder? It's called design. So this is the design layer. This is how we make visuals in Alteryx or in App Builder. Okay. Then we have a second layer. This is the middle layer, and this is the orchestration layer. Now, the thing that I need to make sure that I separate myself with here is that this orchestration layer is not Designer. It has some functions of Designer, but it's not that. So I need to not think of it that way, which then brings me to the potential need for my base layer, which isn't always required, but sometimes required, is going to be engine layer. we'll call it, well, it's just Designer Cloud. We'll just call it the engine layer here. And so what happens is that as we build things out, this orchestration layer will need to interact with these two different layers in different ways. In my head, not necessarily true, but in my head, this orchestration layer would, it would just be these two. But I can see, well, we're going to see, let me actually show you why this third layer is important. So this is an example of, I wanted for the scatter plot, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to build a scatter plot that said, once we picked a candy, we take a color and the one candy we select gets that color and every other candy gets gray. And I was trying to change that based on, like, so in Alteryx, right, we would just do some if statement. But this doesn't support if statements right now. So this is not, this being the functions layer. So we can add functions in here, and it only supports PEMDAS and a few other things. But right now it's just, it doesn't have any if statements. So this is where we're going to have to start implementing that layer below. Which means we're also not bringing in the file on this layer because there's no way to push that into that. So we have to, we're actually going to start this build. Again, I started it here, which got me this far. So I'm going to rebuild, but I'm going to start down here at the engine. And again, I think normally I would want to start here. Once I understand this better and I've been doing this more, I could probably figure out which part of this I need to start at. But for now, I think I'm going to start trying to always think about things at the orchestration layer. Because since I can bring data in at this layer, it's possible that I can just avoid this quote unquote engine layer, the Designer Cloud, and just do things in between here. So let's get started on a new build. So what I'm going to do actually is I want to actually keep this. We're going to just build a new, we're just going to go save. I failed this. Oh, dang it. I need to relog in, I think. Okay, yep. Just to note, Alteryx, something I did note is that, or I did find out, is that there's no autosave feature on this yet, but it's coming, which is, as long as you don't step away for long periods of time. So let's take a look. Oh, whoops. Oh, cool. I'm going to start from the beginning, which is actually fine, which is what I was going to do anyway. Let's go back here to Designer Cloud, and we're going to add a new workflow. And we're going to call this App Builder Halloween Candy. And so we've already brought the data in. I did that on my last one. So, or when I was recording the first video, we just downloaded this. So if you want to follow along, just a note, here in this app, there's a Halloween Candy CSV. So here, we're actually going to grab this note. We've got a bunch of information here. So like we've got candy name, chocolatey, fruity, caramel, et cetera, et cetera. So these are just like things about the candy, and these are just some scores. Maybe what we can do in a future version of this is say, like, if I pick one of these candies, then like, let's say I pick Baby Ruth, and then I took all of these features and said, okay, you like Baby Ruth, you'll probably also like these three. We're not going to do that today. That would be cool. Maybe in a future iteration of that, we'll just build on top of this. But today we're just going to do some, like, we're going to work in the viz layer because that's what this is. So, okay, we're going to add a formula here. Or actually not, we can't do the formula. We've got to do the filter. Sorry, going back to thinking. So what I was going to do in the setting variables, you can't actually make adjustments in the formula yet, but I can make them to the filter side. So what I'm just going to do is say that candy name equals, we'll do Baby Ruth right now because I love Baby Ruth. So we'll just do Baby Ruth. And then these, so unfortunately I can't leverage an if statement yet, but what I'm just going to do is say this is going to be color, and then, oops, that's right. Sorry, I have to add a column. Add a column, we're going to call it color. And then this is going to be red because this is the true side. And then what I'll do is this is going to be gray. And then we'll do a union, and we'll bring all the data back together. Again, so yeah, I know people who develop like this instead of doing if statements, which is not a problem. It's just not how I generally do it. So I just have to remember. I just have to remember that there's more than one thing to do, one way to do things. So, all right, this is good for now. We'll start here. This is going to give us that color, which was the only thing I really wanted to add to this. So let's do a workflow load, and the name of the workflow is going to be candy start. We'll just, because we have to give a name to this, a name down here, output table name. We're going to do the output is going to be from the union, because it's asking us specifically which of these which is what I think this is pretty cool about app builders. I can start at any point here. So like I can grab data from here and from here if I need to, which I did on the last one. Actually, I think I did a unique list out of the input, and then I actually used the output for the app. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to do this. And if I click here, boom, I've got my data and I've got my color. Now what this is going to allow us to do, and I want to make sure that this does this correctly, is on the scatter plot, we're going to have plot, and then the x-axis. What we're just going to do is we're going to do favorite percentage by sugar percentage. We're going to do a comparison of that, and I may have to switch that. I'm not sure if I like that currently. And the series is going to be based on this color. And so I think that's what's going to split it into one of two things. Now, how I make that color work is a question mark, but we're going to figure it out. So if I bring the plot candy in here, boom. Okay, so that is, where'd it go? Right here. There's my gray. This is the red one. This is the value of the selected one. So maybe what we need to do is in the formula, change this to whatever the name is, and then everything else become other. Let's do something here. How do I change colors of these two things? So legend, floating show legend, color, border, background, revert colors. Can I change these colors yet? Color. Yep, that's fine. Oh, goodness. Did I get rid of that on accident? I got rid of that on accident. Color. I would like to be able to change like size, perhaps. Unsure how to do that right now. This is something we're gonna have to figure out. Spacing. This is just conditional. This would only display the variable that we selected from a. Yeah. Okay. So let's draw this out here. So what I've done is I've created a workflow, and we're going to just drop this here. And this workflow currently creates a series. So let's do this. We create series. Creates a series, which are the two colors. And now actually let's go back in here and adjust this. So instead of this, we're going to call this selected. Oh, actually, let's do the name. Candy name. Let's change this to series. This might mess some things up above, but it's fine. We're going to change this to series as well. And then we'll just call everything else other. I think I like that. Candy name. So this becomes Baby Ruth and everything else. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's go back to App Builder. Sorry, let's go back to the orchestrate. Now this color doesn't exist anymore. So let's exit out of this. We probably need to, let's see, is there like a refresh? Let's see, do I have to save this? Nope. Let's, how do I refresh this? There might be a, let's just drop it, and we're going to bring the workflow back in. We'll call it candy in, browse. At builder select. We drop this here. Oh, browse. At builder, Halloween candy select. Input enable name is the union output. There may be like a way to get in here and refresh it. So there's a series. Okay, so cool. So then this gives this. If I go to here, design. Right, we got rid of the color. If we go to series, boom. That's the one we selected. All right, cool. So that allows us to put that scatter plot in the middle. Now, let's do another thing here. Let's add the ability to select a candy. So this is going to be candy selection, and this is going to be select candy. The label source is going to be the candy name. Yep, that's fine there. So that's fine. So that's what I want to do there. But what I want to do, I can't remember how I apply let's see here. How do I apply, and I need to create a set variable here. I'm just, actually, hold on, I built this other thing. How did I apply a variable in, here, nope. I'm trying to remember. Oh, in the view details, right? Okay, that's it. So if I go, this becomes candy selection. Then we choose the variable, new variable, candy. The variable name is string, and then it's there's no default value. We create this. Okay, so this becomes our new variable. So if I view the details in here, I change this and I say the candy. Candy is the new default value here. Now let's talk about what we've done. So we have this creates a series, and then in this orchestration layer, maybe we're gonna have to bump this over. So this creates a series, and then what we do is we have at the beginning, what's something here? I want to figure out something nice to make like a variable. What we're gonna do, actually here, we're gonna start. I think I'm gonna start using this more. So this is a workflow. I don't love that, but we'll fix that later. Fix it in post. Okay, and this is gonna become like a variable. Yeah, that'll work. And then this is going to become a variable. Variable. So if I click this, I want this. Oops. So we select candy. Variable. Then this gets dropped into the workflow. Then the workflow, which is actually kind of interesting because this also, the variables come from a value in here. So at runtime, it's going to do this. So, but this is, that's interesting. It allows us to do that. Does it allow us to do that? It may not allow us to do that. We'll see. Let's say feeds list. I don't like what that just did. Feeds list of variables. And then at runtime sends variables to workflow. Let's move this. And then can I move this down? Yeah, I can. So we'll do that. Okay. So this is what's going on here. Okay, so that's how that works. Then what I've got is this. We'll do this once. Scatter plot, and then we'll just do a table, just for again trying to display how this works here. So we're gonna do a table. And then, sorry, I was thinking about something else I could do. Okay, this is a table, and this is just going to be candy table. And then maybe this is, again, maybe I would build, this is where I would build, I think I would do that in Designer today. If I took, essentially what I have to do is I would convert all these to ones and zeros and essentially find the score that's closest. And then I would have to do some relevancy score. Maybe what I could do actually, man, this is what we're doing. Sorry, now I'm planning out the next build for this, but essentially what I'd want to do is something that's like a, yeah, you know what? We're not going to build this in this, but this is what I'm going to do on my next time. Okay, sorry. Thinking about that. Oh, we're not here. So we're here. So we now have a candy table. And just for the heck of it, what we'll do is we'll add a filter here just so we can, again, work through these properties, understanding what happens here. I think that you have that backwards. Again, so here's something interesting that I've noticed. Like this, again, thinking about Alteryx differently now. Normally, when we do anything that affects a flow of data, it comes into this bottom one or to the quote unquote right side. And then the main set of data goes in through the top, quote unquote, the left, like on a join left, right. But in a probably a more relevant example, like if you do the find, not the find and replace tool, the dynamic rename tool, the top one is where the actual data goes through. And the bottom one is if you are going to rename it with another flow, then that would be in the bottom. So this like little things like this is a totally different way of thinking about Alteryx. So, but I'm okay with it. That's not terribly inconvenient or anything like that. It's just different. So, let's see. We're gonna call this is candy filter, and then we're gonna say the column equals whatever's passed through. We don't have anything selected right now, which is why nothing's shown up. Okay. And then what we're going to do is go to the design side. We've got our scatter plot here. I don't have anything selected. If I add this, let's do a candy selection. And actually, how big can we make? Can we make this like annoyingly big? Yeah, maybe that's what we're going to. Okay. So I can only go to the one side with that. Oh, that's what I'm not doing. Okay. So let's say I wanted to make this the entire thing. And then below that, we have some of these building blocks here, which are, okay. So, I wasn't even looking at it like this. So this whole thing is where I actually really like the requirement to like move this. I like that a lot. And what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? What's a banner? We'll do the banner image. Maybe what we can do is add an image. That'd be fun to see if we can add an image later. A heading, text heading, new section. I don't have headings right now, so we'll worry about that later. But here's the table. So we'd put in our table here. If I selected 100 Baby Ruth, because I like Baby Ruth, this will show that. What I actually want to do, one thing I noticed is that over here in the orchestrate layer, there was an ability to, if nothing is select, pass through everything. That's what I want. Which is, again, this is like, that's not even something that's even available in Designer desktop, because we don't think about things that way, because there is nothing like passing data on. Anyway, cool feature. I really appreciate that. So here's the designer, and then this, and then what I don't want this to expand. How can I make that? So let's, rows per page. Let's do like 1, or yeah, that's actually probably fine. I'll leave that like that. Border width is fine. What's dense mode? Okay. So that just brings it in. Row selection. That I saw that earlier, so someone clicks on that. Actually, that may be interesting to see. Maybe next time what we'll do is a row selection too. So if someone clicked 100 grand, it would highlight down here. I don't know if that works like that. We'll have to figure that out later. Actually, we're gonna figure it out right now. So there's no functionality here. I don't know how I would pass that into a variable. Let's see. Set variable. Can I set a variable? Choose variable. New variable. Test. String. Yep. Okay. Create and then choose a variable. Let's do test here. It's a fixed value. Okay. So that doesn't work the way I was hoping it to. I am curious how that's going to send stuff back through, but we'll leave that here like it is now. We'll move this back over here. Let's say, actually, let's leave this small. And what I do want to do is say, so if I choose Baby Ruth, I get that number here. Let's say, let's see if there's a quick and easy way to clean up like the names of some of these. I don't know if there is in App Builder, which again is why we leverage this. Let's just do a select here and change the whole thing. All right, so let's see. Let's do it here. There might be, and I think I saw, and I can't remember where it is now. There's a, actually, I don't want this here. Link connect around. I just want to bring this here. We're going to bring a select tool here, and we're just going to do some renames. So make this readable. Let's say, I think I saw that if it had an underscore, it automatically removed it for us. Let's see, CHOCOLATE, and then actually the dynamic rename's not here. So normally, we would just change the casing of this, but this is going to work. Caramel, peanut, almondy, crisped white rice wafer. That's my new nickname. Hard bar pluribus. I don't know what pluribus means. I know it's like a e pluribus unum, but sheesh. We're gonna just try to save site, and then we'll do price this, and then we'll do actually, this is probably going to require that I redo everything above this, but I'm okay with that because we are learning. Favorite percentage, good to go. Let's see. Okay, so if we go back above to the orchestration layer, and so I go to, if I change this to view details, okay, close. I wonder, this is curious to me. Browse. So I got rid of it. Do I have to redo this every time right now? Select output. And then this is going to change to based on the candy name. And this is going to change to candy. And then this is values for candy name, got it. And then this will allow me to do the drop down select candy. This is going to be, yep, that's passing through correctly. This is good. This is good. Boom. Okay. That was a pretty easy switch on a small one here, but what do I want to do? Oh, they got rid of my percentage symbols. Curious here. That's interesting to note too, is now I don't have my special characters up here. We'll leave it for now, but well, how would I even add it to the table name if I wanted it? Curious. Okay, we'll leave that like that for now. I need to redo my plot. Let's see, x-axis is sugar and favorite. In the series, that's good here. Boom. Okay, so there's the Baby Ruth. Got it. This is that. If I change this to 1 dime, does that fix this? Change it to set. Why is this not changing? I wonder if it's just because I messed with it. Here, let's trash that. Let's add a Where is let's add our candy selection drop down. Let's can I do that here? Okay, then if I just move this back. So if I change this to 100 grand, does it take a second to pass everything back through? Oh, do I have to? I have to change this. Hold on. I have to rechange this to be the candy. That's right. That's my fault. Okay, done. And see, now we see this working. Yep. Boom. Okay. Let's see here. So if I change this back and we want to do Boston baked beans, is this anybody's favorite candy? Where is it on my scatter plot? It's nobody's favorite candy, so it's not on the scatter plot. Oh, it didn't. Oh, is this it? It is. Okay, so it did show up here. Uh, filter here. Why did this change here? What is my error? Filter tool needs a valid column. Oh, right, we didn't change that. That's why things aren't working. Okay, cool. User error. Good. I like to see a good user error problem. Let's see. Almond Joy. Almond Joy. Almond Joy is right there. I would like to change these colors, and there may be a way to do that. But anyway, okay. So this is essentially what I wanted to do. Again, is it telling me anything? No, not really anything amazing. But we have gotten it to pass variables in cool ways. Let's talk about this for a second. So, okay, we select the candy variable. We send the variable to the workflow. And then at runtime, so whenever we make a selection, it then, what do? We filter. Let's see, what should we filter? We're just gonna say this is some action. And we'll just say action. So this filters the data. Actually, the filtering happens. Where does the filter happen? We have this filter here that filters our table. Where did I go? Filters our table. Action. Oh, it's going to be here. Action filter. Filter table. And then there's some interface tools. So let's add, this is going to be, I'm just making this really dirty and gross. Let's say interface. What do they call it on Alteryx? They called them, let's just do it so it's a display tool. These are display tools. So this is going to be, I need two of them. So this is going to be the table. And so this, it's this, and then this. So this, but then I also have the scatter plot. And so maybe, so this is like creates it. It does it makes this happen, or it orchestrates what's going to be on here. Orchestrates what's going to be on the scatter plot, orchestrates what's going to be on the table. This does this. This filters out what's going to be on the table. Creates, I don't know, when I say orchestrates, maybe it creates the XML object that is going to be displayed in the layer above. If I were to guess, that's probably actually what's happening. Come on. Oh, I wanted it to be center. That's fine. And then what we actually have above it, so this is, I think the other thing, okay, and so on this third layer above here, what we have is I'm running out of shapes. A trapezoid. This is the, let's talk about, this is like I would say an interface tool, interactive tool. Okay, interactive tools. And actually, that's probably, maybe this is the way that, so the interactive tools. So this exists here. This feeds the variable value, and we'll actually move these up here. So this creates a scatter plot and a table. So we have to, you know what, actually, here's the way I prefer to look at this. So this is an interactive tool that changes the variable, which is this. Oh, sorry. Yep. Sorry. This changes this variable through this interaction, but also in the design layer, this is that interface tool. So it exists here so that it can show up here. Actually, you know what? This is going to be, yep, interactive tools. This is going to be select variable candy name. And then what happens is on the design layer, we actually have to physically move these over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to oh, goodness. I'm just going to drop here. So I now have a select candy name, which this exists. This works because I have this. Then I have a scatter plot. Plot, which exists specifically because I have this data or this setup here, and then I have a table tool which exists specifically because I have this. And then let's actually change this. Let's make this dotted. And so this, so that we understand that relationship between the interface. Okay, so this isn't super confusing or anything like that. So again, 3 layers here. Build my orchestration layer. So the orchestration layer makes things work. The design layer builds on top of the orchestration layer. And if needed, we have the cloud, the designer cloud or the engine layer. I don't think I'm giving it that name. I don't think, actually, hold on. What do they call it here? The integrations layer. I actually like that. We're going to, where is this? Let's call this integrations instead of engine. No, you know, I actually like engine too. We'll just call it the integrations engine. But anyway, this is the integrations layer. So saying that like I have to have something down here to do some of the functions that feed this. But this is essentially how this works. And let me move these away so they're not super confusing and looking like they're part of the workflow. So 3 layers. I have my design layer, my orchestration layer. I have my engine layer, my integrations layer. Engine just makes more sense. I have an engine layer. So again, okay, cool. Again, I have posted about how I don't love Viz stuff. Sorry, Viz. I don't like making dashboards and stuff. So I'm not great in this space. But again, understanding from a technical perspective how to make this sort of thing work, that's what I love. Love that. Love. And I think that's why I love, I don't know if anybody's seen Sigma. I really like Sigma because I think it does cool things on the back end to allow you to do other things and fun things on the front end. But yes, this is how I think this is how it's set up. This is my design. And this is my workflow we created for this, which this was all good. I'm fine with this. Yeah. And again, you can do really cool things. I saw someone bring in an image. Let's do this. Greg over the garden wall. Gregory images. We're just going to grab this image here. Oh, we're going to copy. Oh, great. Oh, no, I thought that was, okay. Yeah, there we go. Copy link. So then what we're going to do, yeah, copy image link. And then I want to drop this in my app builder. So if I wanted to add an image like right here, I could. Image URL, Gregory. If anyone's familiar with this show. Well, I assume that's how that should work. I probably pulled that incorrectly. Let's see, hold on. I don't know. Anyway, also, if you haven't seen Over Garden Wall, here's my plug for one of my favorite television shows of all time. Copy image link. Will this work? Yeah, there we go. That's what I meant to do the whole time. Yeah. So, yeah, plug for this show. Like the whole first episode is based around the fact that he has candy. Anyway, so yeah, this is how we put in a cool image. All these other awesome things. Love it. Learning, love to see where this product is going, and I love the opportunity to learn. So thanks for everyone that stuck around. Wow, 40 minutes. I thought I was going to make a short video.